and welcome to another episode of Rebuild Your Body, brought to you by BluePhoenix Fitness. I am your host, Cameron McIntyre, and it is my job to help you reclaim your health and become the strongest version of you. Today we're going to be talking about why long, steady-state cardio, aerobic-based cardio, is not the best way for you to be losing weight, especially if you would like that weight to stay gone once you lose it. Very common misconception. So as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you drop them below this video and I will try to get back to every single one. If you have any other specific questions, you can always reach out on Instagram at BluePhoenix Fitness and drop us a message there as well. So if you have ever thought about losing weight, if that's ever been important to you, the first thought that probably popped into your head is likely something along the lines of, I need to start doing more cardio. Maybe you start jogging, maybe you jump on the elliptical, maybe you invest in a Peloton bike and you start, Pelotoning in those spin classes every day. Whatever the case may be, you start doing cardio. And at first it actually starts to work. You actually start to see some weight come off. You see that scale start to come down a little bit. You're super excited. Right up until, 4 weeks, 6 weeks down the road, maybe 8 weeks down the road, all of a sudden, the weight loss that was going down has now completely leveled off. And maybe, worst case scenario, you've actually started to see it come back up again. And you think to yourself, well, what am I doing? I haven't really changed what I'm eating. I'm working out every day. I'm doing these, hour-long cardio workouts every single day. Like, I'm pushing it. I'm working hard. What is going on? And that is what we're going to talk about today, is exactly why that happens and a better alternative. Now, this is also part 3 of a series on fat loss workouts. So I'll link the other 2 parts in the description of this video. Part 1, we talked about strength training. We talked about why strength training is important for fat loss. Part 2, we talked about why metabolic training and what I call F.I.R.E workouts are also important for fat loss. And today we're going to be talking about cardio and kind of where that fits into the whole hierarchy of effective fat loss workouts. So if you missed either of those, check them out in the description of the video. I'll link to it there. So like I said, aerobic training, cardio specifically, can be very effective for weight loss in the beginning. And it definitely has a place in an overall health plan. There's a lot of health benefits to consistent cardio workouts. We're not going to get into those today. Maybe I'll do another video on that at some point. But there's a lot of health benefits to cardio. Long-term sustainable fat loss is just unfortunately not one of them. And that's unfortunate because so many people think that it is. And that's the first place that so many of you go to when you want to lose weight. And the unfortunate reality is that for most people, when they do that, they start to see what I described in the beginning. They start to see their weight come down a little bit, but then slowly over time, it either plateaus and levels off, or it actually starts to come back up again. And that's how people regain, a lot of the weight that they lose, if not regain more. When we think about weight loss, the most important thing to remember is that it comes down to one thing. And that one thing is controlling energy balance. So we need to figure out a way that we can consume less energy through food than we are burning through, our metabolism, exercise, our non-exercise activity, thermogenesis, our NEAT, and our digestion of food. There's a few things that go into our overall calorie burn, our overall energy expenditure throughout the day. But we need to figure out a way that we can consume less than what we are burning. Simple as that. If we do that, then we will lose weight. Now, one of the ways that we can control that, obviously diet and a healthy, balanced nutrition plan is going to be number 1 to do that. But on the energy outside, on the calorie burn side of it, we also have a few levers that we can pull. One of those levers is exercise. So our exercise, we can pull that lever and burn calories throughout the day. Now, like I described in part 1 and part 2 of this series, not all exercise is created equal when it comes to fat loss, especially not when you want sustainable fat loss, fat loss that stays gone once you lose it. Aerobic training, cardio training is awesome, like I said, but what it is doing is it's actually training your body to burn fewer calories over time. And this is exactly what we want aerobic training to do. If we think of endurance training, and you think of what the goal, what the purpose of endurance training is. What do you want to happen? With endurance training, say you're training for a marathon, you want to be able to go for a run and then increase that distance over time, right? So you want your body to become more efficient with its use of energy so that you can go for a longer period of time. So you can go from running 3 kilometers to running 50 kilometers or anything in between, right? You want your body to become more efficient, and that's exactly what it does. Through training, through proper endurance training, your cardiovascular system becomes stronger and your body becomes more efficient. So you actually burn less calories over time. So if you start doing say you're running 3 kilometers a day, so that's awesome. Maybe your body is burning, just for argument's sake, 500 calories to run 3 kilometers. If you do that same 3-kilometer run every day or a few times a week for 4 or 5 weeks, by the 4th or 5th week that you're doing that same 3-kilometer run, your body's actually going to be using less energy. It's going to be burning less calories than it was in the beginning. And like I said, that's exactly what we want to happen, because we want to train our body to be more efficient. We want to be able to go for longer periods of time. Now, that's awesome for endurance training, but it is the opposite of what we want for weight loss and for fat loss. This is why people run into trouble. They see that weight come down, but then if they don't adjust their calories and they don't adjust their food, all of a sudden their body is burning less calories. Maybe they're maybe a little bit more hungry from doing all of this cardio work, and they maybe unconsciously start to eat a little bit more. Well, then that starts to bring your weight back up. So there's a lot of variables, there's a lot that goes into it that we're not going to get into in this video, but that is one of the biggest reasons why cardio, long, sustained, steady state cardio, is not great for long-term sustainable weight loss. So what is a better option? Well, like I talked about in part 1, you can click on part 1 and part 2 to find the 2 better options, but strength training should be number 1. Strength training has to be number 1 because it allows you to get stronger, it allows you to build muscle, and there's a lot of reasons why that's important, which you can check out in that video below. But strength training should be the foundation. Metabolic training, like our F.I.R.E workouts, those should be number 2. And then you should be, fit cardio in to around that schedule. So there's a lot of ways to slice it, but you should be doing a little bit of cardio training. It just shouldn't be the foundation of your training plan if long-term weight loss is your main priority right now. That should be strength training, and then adding in some cardio around that when you have time for all of the other health benefits that come along with that. So if that was helpful, I hope it was. Let me know in the comments. Question of the day, what is your favorite form of exercise? Do you prefer strength training or do you prefer cardio? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. Putting out a lot more consistent videos, so you don't want to miss that. So make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell so you get the alerts. And that is it. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.